no win, no win. We ain't going nowhere. We can't stop there, 'cause it's bad boy for life.
A good day here in Boston. I'm Courtney Cox. Welcome into Bruins Now. In case you haven't heard, we are heading to the Stanley Cup Finals. The Bruins closed out the conference final 4-0 on Thursday night, sweeping the Carolina Hurricanes to get one step closer to the Cup. The older guys on the team knowing how hard it is to accomplish a feat like this.
As you get older, you appreciate it even more, and you realize how hard it is to get to this point and to advance, and you got to be thankful, and obviously you want to stay in the moment, and that's the biggest thing. You know, right now we're going to appreciate this tonight, but then it's back to work, and there's a lot of work in front of us.
It's so difficult to advance in the playoffs, let alone make it to the finals. So like Bergie said, we need to really enjoy this, but realize that we have a lot of work to do.
And the guys also know how impressive their goalie has been this series. Heck, in the entire playoffs. Tuukka Rask has played in all 17 postseason matchups and has a 1.84 goals against average and a 94 save percentage. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Tuukka's been very consistent. Usually if you're going to get on a roll, your goaltender's going to have to, if you say win a game for you somewhere along the line or steal one, whatever you want to use, but he's going to have to be there for you. He can't have a bad night.
Just in the zone right now, he's confident. Just let him be and let him keep doing his thing. Give us the opportunity to win every game, and that's why we are where we are.
So something that's been really impressive in this cup run is the Bruins' secondary scoring. All but three guys have scored in the postseason. Brandon Carlo, Carson Coleman, and John Moore are the only players who haven't scored a goal in the playoffs. So here's a breakdown of all the goals scored in the postseason. Patrice Bergeron leads the way with 8 goals. Brad Marchand has 7 goals. He played in his 100th playoff game in Game 3, as does David Pastrnak. Charlie Coyle rounds out the top with 6. So while the Bees are trying to take care of things on the East Coast, the West has a showdown of their own. San Jose leads the series 2-1, but it's anyone's game. Game 3 ended in overtime, and there is a call that has people not thrilled on the losing side. An apparent hand pass in the offensive zone that was not reviewable. And while people in Boston may only care about the final score of each game, there's a bigger storyline out of St. Louis.
Talk to Dr. Benarski. And guess where you get to go first.
Is it a Blues game? Are you kidding me?
No.
How do you feel?
I feel amazing.
Amazing. So tell me why the St. Louis Blues mean so much to you.
They have been my inspiration through everything, and they have supported me the most.
So great to see 11-year-old Layla Anderson at the game tonight. Layla battling a rare disease called HLH. She underwent a bone marrow transplant. Completed her treatment recently at St. Louis Children's Hospital.
If that doesn't give you some voting interest in St. Louis, I don't know what will. No matter where you are from or who your team is, we should all be rooting for Layla. Back to the East Coast now, with the Bruins still playing. Blades is still in action. He spent Monday at the Fisher School in Walpole with Chris Wagner, getting the students all fired up. Now that is a good Monday. All right, if you're like most Bruins fans, you love yourself some Marshy. Did you know that he also plays the guitar?
What's your favorite song to play on guitar, and do you bring it on the road?
Right now, I'm kind of chipping away at Lifehouse. I've always liked their music, and it has some good songs playing the guitar. I do bring it on the road a lot with me. I haven't as much the last couple trips, just because I'm more focusing on hockey.
Now we're almost done here, but as I mentioned before, Tuukka Rask has been on fire all playoffs, and it turns out he's stealing a lot of attention in post-game press conferences. Check it out.
Tuukka, that first period there where you were bombarded on the power play, you had 4.
Tuukka, your teammates keep saying Tuukka's in the zone, Tuukka's in the zone.
Tuukka, what did you see and think on?
Tuukka, speaking of that focus, when you're faced...
Tuukka, I'm going to ask you to go on the memory bank here a little bit, buddy.
Any more questions? Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks for coming, Chuck.
My mic does work.
Way to be a good sport, Charlie. Now we'll see you next week when the Bees will be set to start the Stanley Cup Final. Bye, guys.